just after 1 o'clock, Friday afternoon, Friday the 6th, and I have a doctor's appointment coming up. Not until 10 after 2, and it only takes about 10 minutes to get there. But I figured I would talk for a few minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes about whatever, and then head over to my doctor's appointment. Always, always good to be a little bit early. Sometimes they take you in quickly. Um, I'm getting my um, COVID booster as well as my, um, hopefully, I believe, my flu shot. So it'll be interesting how tomorrow's burpee session goes. Generally, I felt okay after my shots, a little sore, particularly the arm. Occasionally, it seems that I felt a little feverish and a little worn down for a day or two, a little bit of a headache. So we'll see how it plays out. I know shots can be, or I should say, vaccinations can be a bit of a controversial subject, not meaning to court controversy by saying it. I just, I keep things pretty upfront. You know, for me, getting the vaccination is just a small thing to do for myself. I'd rather have a day feeling a little iffy than a week or 2 weeks of COVID or the flu. It's been probably um, 15 years since I've had the flu, and I do get my flu shot um, once a year, seasonally. And that flu was miserable, as we all know. Plus, it doesn't get easier as you get older. None of it. COVID, the flu. So I do not wish to be a conduit for bringing it towards anyone else. I don't want to get it myself. So again, it's just a little thing. It is absolutely non-political for me whatsoever. You make the best decision for your life as you possibly can. Being informed, and by informed, I don't mean doing your own research, sort of. Um, Talk to the professionals, talk to the doctors, talk to whoever, and then make your best decision. Whatever's right for you, I have no issues. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to get on one bandwagon over the other. We all have, um, we all decide to take a stand somewhere. If that's your stand, um, you know, so be it. However, I also appreciate when people leave me alone about my decisions. Um, it's the same as being a vegan. I don't have a bandwagon. I don't preach it as in this is what you do, this is what you should do. However, I do talk about it quite a bit on my channel here and on Instagram for what it does to me, what it does for the environment, what it does for the world, what it could do for you. But I don't care if you're not a vegan. Um, I urge people to go plant-based because it's good for you and it's good for the planet. The more plants you eat, the less animals you eat. So it's even better for the animals. However, if you decide you want to be a meat eater, again, that's you. That's actually not even my concern. So, it's the same with yoga. I talk about it all the time to everybody. But here's the weird thing. I don't care if you don't do yoga at all. What I care about is me doing yoga and the positive effects that it has. And then hopefully I can give some of those positive effects back. That's the important thing with everything that we do. um, Being of service. And especially in deep ways, in ways that we might not even be aware of. So I try to put out a positive message for people, a strong message, um, a message of creativity, to live a creative life as much as we're able, as much as possible, to live a studious life, to live a life of curiosity and spontaneity. Maybe above all, that to be incurious in life about everything, about the little things, about nature, um, just seems to be a waste. To to not be drawn towards exploring the wonderfulness of existence. As far as we know, this existence for me as Eric, is a once a time, once upon. Um, these particles and atoms and molecules and cells will never be arranged in this particular order again. Now, those particles and those atoms and those cells will become something other, but it won't be this. That is for certain. This is a literally uh, the odds of this existence, this me of existence, this aspect of me as existence is so infinitely small. I won the universe's greatest lottery simply by being here, and so have you. What are you going to do with it? Aren't you curious? Don't you want to explore every aspect of what it is to be you and how it can be expressed and the beauty that it is? Because honestly, each of you are just an aspect, a beautiful aspect of this beautiful existence, reality itself, life itself. That um, how can you even think that it's wasted? It can't be wasted by virtue of you being here, by virtue of you existing. It can't possibly be wasted. That's the whole purpose of me having this channel. Originally, originally, the purpose was simply to put my meditation classwork up so the teachers could view it, and it was on a privacy setting. And then, thanks to Nick and Paul from Oregon, they talked me into putting up some of my burpee videos. Little did they know that I would do that every single day for well over a year now, and that would inspire me to put up videos every single day of me talking nonsense to you guys. So, you don't like my message, go over to Paul from Oregon's page and let him know that he never ever should have encouraged me. It is his fault. It's basically his fault, as well as Nick's. But Nick hasn't posted for a while, and I hope he's doing okay. I hope every once in a while he decides to check in and just let his friends in the burpee fitness community know that all is well and that he's still getting some reps in as he's able. So, yeah, after meditation, after burpees, these conversations, the whole point is for me to talk about yoga. And it's all yoga, every little bit of it. Yoga means, the literal translation is yoke, to bring together. It's sort of, and the whole purpose is the bringing together of the immaterial and the material, the spiritual and the physical, the us and the godhood. However, it's sort of a misnomer because nothing is separate to begin with. So what yoga really is the realization of unity consciousness. So it's all yoga, and there's so many different forms of formal yoga. For me, I study the 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Now there's two meanings of Ashtanga yoga, or two developments of it. Originally, Ashtanga means 8, so it's 8 limb path of yoga. And then early in the 1900s. Um, I forget which guru put together his own yoga uh, asana program and labeled it Ashtanga Yoga, and it is incredibly hard um, program to follow. Very demanding on the body as well as the mind. But for me, it's the 8 path of yoga, particularly meditation. It all leads to meditation. I could say particularly about anything, particularly the yamas and the niyamas, which are the uh, ethical restraints and the personal observances of that make up the first 2 limbs of yoga. I could say particularly those because they just hold this deep fascination for me. That by restraining certain things in my life, non-harming, which is why my diet is the way it is, of non-lying, which is why I come here, and I try to tell the truth. I try to tell the truth wherever I go. I don't succeed. Because when you look at the lying that we do without even speaking it, the fabrications that we put our life, that we build our lives upon without even realizing it, it was pretty amazing. I mean, anytime I utter a belief that I don't know for absolutely certain, then it's a form of a lie. I'm not being honest because I don't know. I think I know, or I wish I knew, or I want to believe so deeply that I make myself believe that I know, but I don't know. I can't speak of anything after this existence with any amount of certainty, and no one can. Not even the world's greatest yogis. They can have some hints of intuition, and many of them share it, but they try not to share it as a concrete evidence of this is what it is. They share it as a belief. So um, those are the restraints, the um, non-harming, non-lying, non-stealing, um, awareness of our how we spend our energy, particularly our sexual energy, and non-hoarding. I'm lousy at so many of them. In one way or the other, I'm lousy at almost all of them in any particular time. However, it's my path to practice them. Such a relief to practice. And I think about that in burpees all the time. I'm practicing burpees, as Max says, and as Lee Hazard says, burpee practitioner. I don't have to be great at burpees. I don't have to get massive numbers each and every session. I don't have to put everything on the line and crawl away. That I can't take another breath. I can't do another burpee. I can't do another push-up because I just laid it all out there. Sometimes that happens, but it doesn't have to happen all the time. I'm practicing. I practice all of those 5 yamas. I try to practice the niyamas, which are the observances, the personal observances of cleanliness, not just physical, that's important, but cleanliness of mind. Is my mind in a positive place? Now, when I say positive place, I don't mean that we don't have a negative thought. I don't mean that we don't have these moments of sorrow, of grief, of whatever. Whatever the mind is experiencing is whatever the mind is experiencing and doesn't need to be pushed aside or defended. However, it is important as well to know that those things aren't a lasting quality within us. And we do that by simply being aware. Awareness cleanses everything. So we're aware of those thoughts without trying to change them. They'll change on their own. Just bring that light of awareness to the thought and let that be a cleansing agent. And then we have the tapas, which is discipline. Some people call it the removal of impurities, a penance. Burpees are a tapas. We approach them with this burning desire of laying it on the line for that moment. Yoga, asanas, meditation. All of those are tapas, or spiritual discipline. Study of the self, which is self-inquiry, which is um, asking, who am I? Where am I? And that type of, meditation, getting to the essence of who I am as essence. And then Ishwa Pranahan, which is surrender. Ishwa is surrendering to the Lord. Ishwa is the Lord, but the Lord as reality, not the separate, far off God of distant heaven, ruling with an iron fist, more than willing to send us to hell if we disobey a commandment. This is the Lord of reality, the Lord of existence, the Lord of universal manifestation, as well as being the absolute, the unmanifest and the manifest. And we surrender simply to what is, how reality unfolds, without needing a constant narration or defense or any type of manipulation. Just allowing it to be, surrendering to what is each and every moment. That alone is cleansing, relaxing. Those are the 5 niyamas. So I say, they hold those are my particular things that I'm drawn to. But the third of the 8 limb is of yoga is asanas. And I hold myself as a very physical person. I love doing burpees, and I love my asana practice twice a day. Was doing 3. I was doing an evening practice, but I just needed some of the evening practices were definitely causing issues with my shoulders, so I lightened things up a bit. But still, 2 practices a day, bringing the essence of yoga to it, steadying the mind within a posture, steadying the breath within the posture, having a mind that is indifferent to the sway of the body, indifferent to the comfort or discomfort, indifferent to the balance, that I'm there balancing, not concerned about the balance itself. And then the 4th limb, pranayama, breath work. And breath work, as almost all of my earlier talks, dealt with some form of breath work. That's of the most importance to me as well. And I'm a breathwork coach as well as I'm a meditation teacher, so I can't separate the next 4 limbs as all dealing with meditation. So as you can see, whenever I say this is a particular thing that draws me to yoga, it's really not true. The whole thing draws me towards. And it is all to be approached with, again, being of service. The best way I can be of service is first to practice yoga myself, and then to offer it as a gift to other people. Not just, this is how you do yoga, not just teaching yoga, but the gift of, inspiring people to pick up a path, whatever that path is, that brings you joy and happiness and enriches your life and helps you be more fulfilled, happier, more relaxed. And in return, think about that gift that you just gave to your family for being that type of person, and then spreading outwards and outwards and outwards. The 100th monkey effect. If you guys are familiar with that, not that I called you guys monkeys, but the 100th monkey is the islands off the coast of Japan, that they were studying monkeys separated, different groups of monkeys separated on these islands, no contact with each other. And there was a storm that came through, and there was a particular type of potato that the monkeys ate, and they were covered with sand. The monkeys started to wash them in clean water, and at a certain point, critical mass was attained, and when I guess 99% um, of the island's population began washing it, it spread to other islands, even islands where it wasn't affected by the storm, because of, again, that critical mass just takes over. In yoga, particularly transcendental meditation, they call it the Maharishi effect, that when a certain percentage of any given population is meditating, the whole of society, the whole of that community benefits from it. So as a meditator, and on behalf of meditators everywhere, I'm simply going to say, you guys are welcome. I'm being of service by meditating. And I'm only partially joking about that. Because when you meditate, you are being of service to other people, because you are bringing a sense of peace, a sense of calm, and it ripples forth from your meditation cushion or bench or chair, wherever you meditate, outwards to the world. So, all right, guys, it's been about a little over 20 minutes, and that seems the 100th monkey and the Maharishi effect seem to be a good place to end the conversation. If anyone stops in and watches this later, I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for some burpees. And again, after the vaccinations, it may be a slow set of burpees. It's supposed to be a mixed day. So I'm going to throw in some pull-ups. And it has been at least 2 weeks with my shoulders bothering me since I've done dips. I'm thinking about testing the water with just like a rep, 2 reps every couple of sets. We'll see. It might be too soon. It might be just the thing that I need. I don't know, but I'm curious about it. So I will see you guys in the morning. Have a good day.